I'm about to blow your mind. I saw this TED Talk the other day about tying shoes, and check this out. All right. So here's the normal way most people have been taught to tie the shoe. Go down, bring the loop over, they bring the second loop over their thumb, and then they pull it through. Now, apparently, what happens is as the knot gets tugged on this way, the shoelace loosens, and that's how your shoe ends up untied. But if you just reverse the direction of that loop, and then you bring it through this way, now what happens is that when your shoelace is kicked, it actually tightens the knot, so your shoelace will never get untied. Mind blown.
On that note, welcome to the first video podcast of New School Wedding Photographer. We're brought to you by Olive Album Co., as well as Jackrabbit Post-Processing. We're not going to do any intros or anything because those are lame. We're just going to get right into it. And basically the topic for today is kind of how to book more weddings, how to make more money, how to get established in the industry more better.
Yep.
So we're going to break it into 3 parts. The first part is for kind of the complete beginner that doesn't really have much portfolio yet.
Yeah.
Number 2 is going to be kind of maybe you have 10 weddings booked for next year and you're in pretty good shape, but you'd like to kind of increase everything. And then lastly for kind of the enhanced... the
advanced wedding photographer.
That's the word I'm looking for. I'm good at this. It's our first episode. Bear with us. It's going to be good. I feel it.
Yeah.
All right. So for the just starting out photographers, something that I did was I just kind of gave away engagement shoots whenever couples would contact me. I would just kind of, I don't know, get the info and be like, okay, so this is the situation. I'm new. You can obviously see that. What I'm going to do is we can go out for an hour and take some pictures. If you like me at the end of that, you're welcome to book with me. If not, no hard feelings. And I'll give you 10 images, and as long as I'm free to use them in my portfolio, and you're free to use them for whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. And I think the other thing that, I know for weddings it's really difficult, right? Because you want to shoot weddings, but you don't have any to shoot. So one thing that I would suggest is try and find other vendors, like wedding vendors, people in the industry that are kind of like you starting out. Right, and then what you can do is you can pool a few together, grab a model, grab a dress, maybe put some flowers together, and then just do kind of like a mock wedding shoot. Yeah. At least you'll have something bridal themed in your portfolio afterwards, so you have something to show people because I know the first 5 are usually the toughest, to get.
Especially destination weddings where you need one to book Annie.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Unless it's your friend.
Yeah, buddy, yeah.
I guess on the kind of setting up your own personal shoots, there's always the gray area of kind of professionally put together workshops where you just kind of show up and everything's done for you. And it's a gray area with like kind of the photojournalism crowd because it's not really a wedding, you're just kind of there. I'm okay with it as long as it's not a setup where the lead photographer is doing all the posing and then there's like 10 people behind snapping the exact same photo. Mm-hmm. I feel that image will definitely look out of place in your portfolio, but if it's something that you kind of set up and it's kind of your vision and everything, I think that it's kind of fair game.
Definitely. Like, I mean, even if it's professionally styled, I mean, that's what a stylist is for, right? And then what happens, as long as you're posing it, right? But like, if somebody else is posing the shot and you're shooting over their shoulder, then you actually see that when you see 10 photographers go to a workshop, they each have the same image in their portfolio, coming out. So I don't know. I kind of agree with that because, I mean, the posing is most of the battle. Yeah. So I
think at the beginning, you should really just be focusing on, I think, a good connection, a good verbal connection with your clients, and ideally not be looking at your camera and playing with settings every 10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next little part where you already have a few weddings. My thing is just kind of start blogging really, really hard. Really get out there and Google for the search engine stuff. Try to be everywhere you possibly can. And if for whatever reason you haven't shot a venue that you really want to shoot and you think that a lot of brides are going to be searching for, just set up one of those shoots that we were talking about there. Yeah. Just a little portfolio thing. And
yeah, I think at this point when you're already getting some weddings, now's the time to really cultivate your relationships with vendors you're already shooting for, assuming you're happy working with those people in the future. I think that's when you need to have your coffees. You need to ask them more about their business, see where you can help, and also make sure they know who you are and what you're all about. That way, if, for example, you're talking to a planner, she knows what types of couples to recommend you to.
Yeah, for sure. And I just really think that it's just an exposure thing at this point. Like, you're probably good enough to book most weddings. It's just that people don't know about you.
Yeah.
So for that, I would kind of say maybe start investing like a little bit, like maybe $2 a day into Facebook marketing or Facebook ads.
Yeah.
And just maybe pop out 5 or 6 different ads and see which ones do best and put that $2 a day cap. And then just kind of let that roll, because even if you book 1 wedding, 2 weddings a year, that cost is covered, as well as you're getting that kind of residual impact where if they find your website from Google and they end up there, then they see a Facebook ad and they end up there again. I feel that they're going to be that much closer.
Yeah,
to kind
you
of booking with
potential referrals and everything too as a
Yeah.
result of it. Yeah,
it just
if you
all
can,
helps.
if you manage to book off of a Facebook ad, it pays for itself.
Yeah,
No problem.
Exactly. Book
Yeah.
1. And I guess on to the already established photographers and kind of some ideas for them. If you want to lead this one off, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I think once you get up there, it's not really an issue with volume anymore. You're getting enough leads where you could book your season. It becomes more about refinement. You're starting to be a little bit pickier with the weddings you want. You're starting to raise your price. You're at the point where you have a business and you're looking to scale. So I think in that case, that's when you want to, I would say to start with, try and picture that perfect wedding that you'd like to shoot. And then now's the time to really start contacting those other people in the industry or those couples or anybody who's actually producing those weddings. Put those together, make some shoots, start chatting with people, building those relationships, and try and put yourself in a mindset of these people who are actually, producing, getting the weddings that you want.
Yeah, I think it's just, again, just really, really, really refine who you are.
Yeah, definitely.
At this point, you've made some money, so it makes a lot of sense to maybe throw some of it into like a full brand and image makeover.
Yeah.
It's probably about that time, because I know that when I started booking a lot, pretty much all of that just fell behind, and I just
Yeah.
became too busy doing that. And when I had free time that I was still kind of partially working, like, I don't know. So
Yeah.
that's my ideas, at least. So thanks for bearing with us through this first lovely episode. And you learned how to tie your shoes properly, which is really important.
Never untied again.
So hopefully you'll join us for the next episode. We're going to try to release these every week for the rest of time.
Yeah.
So we really want to encourage interaction from you guys. So if you want to drop some YouTube comments, we're good at that. Or if you want to @reply us, I am @Taylor Jackson.
I am @Tyler James Photo.
And those should be flashing on the screen right now. So if you want to send us questions either way, or let us know feedback, let us know what you'd like to see in the future. We're going to try to kind of take over all different aspects of this. We want to bring some cameras on shoots with us, that type of thing. So
Yeah, I
see
really
where it
want
goes.
to give everybody like a good kind of full picture of what it's like and kind of what we do and how to, make everybody better.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Well, see you again
Cool.
next week. Bye.